It's been a minute.
No, for sure.
I was trying to tap you in. I was trying to tap you in yesterday, but it looked like you was a little busy.
Yeah, I be having a baby.
You be having a baby?
Yeah, she's 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah,
So you've been busy? Have you been at the gym as much?
yeah, I been there. That's
How's
why
that?
when I get in the crib, I get right with the baby.
How is that? Because as a coach, you donate a lot of time to the amateurs.
Yeah, you just gotta make them understand.
That's tough though, because when it comes down to like divorce rates for boxing coaches and stuff, it's high. It's a high rate.
Well,
Relationships, all that.
well, you ain't got to get divorced if you ain't married.
That too. Well, but you sometimes it's not bad to have a relationship. When you get old, you got somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying?
If you know me, they ain't gonna never be my problem.
So, what's on your mind normally right now? And when it comes down to boxing, you got your own channel. Shout out to your channel. What's your channel's name?
GHB TV.
You jumping? The other day I seen you had like 800 people on live.
Yeah, we be having fun, talking shit, smoking, drinking, having a good time.
Okay. So let's talk. What's really on your mind right now when it comes down to this boxing media? Let's talk with the boxing media first.
The boxing media.
Yeah, like what's going on in your channel? What's the top topics you've been really like touching upon?
I just try to cover as much as I can. I mean, I can't cover everything.
I know.
It's tough. Some shit you miss. You know what I mean? Of course, everybody want to cover the big shit that's going on, but I try to show love to the amateurs or coaches. Sometimes I bring them on. You know what I mean? My man Bang that I be having on the live with me. He from Houston. He really ain't even have a channel. And then I'm like, bro, you might as well start a channel. He was thinking about it, but I pushed him to do it. Now he got a channel. So we just having fun, man, with this shit. As far as the game though, Shakur Foster, it did my boy dirty.
Mm,
It did
let's
my
talk
boy
about
real
it.
dirty. I
Let's
mean,
talk about it.
I feel like they got plans for that WBC title, and they had to get it up out his hands. You feel me?
So let's talk about those plans then. Now that you're speaking upon it,
Cause
I was
Zara,
talking to one of my I was
no, I
talking
hear
to
you.
one of my friends. He was saying that the Brazilian population in Newark is really high.
Yeah,
And then obviously combat sports in Brazil is huge.
yeah,
So having a Brazilian champion and, obviously possibly still keeping money in Newark intact as well. We could see him in Newark or wherever high Brazilian populations are, right?
yeah.
So what you think? Why do you feel like they did him dirty on that side, the politics side of that?
I mean, I guess they again they could keep the title. They said Shakur Foster only had one more fight with Top
Yep.
Rank. You know what I mean? So he looked at it, I guess, like if he held on to that belt, he was going to route with the belt. They didn't want him to leave with the belt, so they robbed him,
Mm.
and that's fucked up. It's fucked up what they did.
How'd you have it? I mean, Oshaki, you could tell it was tough for him. He went on Twitter, was a little bit outspoken upon it. I think
Yeah,
he said something about on Twitter that even from the gloves, from the beginning of the gloves, I guess that they weren't even they were trying to just make an agreement on the gloves and they couldn't even get that right. Speak upon just being a fighter and knowing that, you got to deal with all this bullshit right before the fight. Do you feel like you already going to get robbed type of shit?
I mean, for the average fighter, that's going to happen. You're going to get robbed at some point in your career. This is what I try to explain to the parents who invest so much into boxing, and they think that their kid is that good that he's going to be the next guy. It's a world of fighters out here. You know what I'm saying? And the way they play it, it don't have nothing to do with your skill. It's a popularity contest. You know what I'm saying? And you basically just spoke on that because this guy's Brazilian. We know him because he fought Shakur, he fought Valdez. He been in there with some good fighters. So it's like we
Navarrete.
Navarrete. We know that we know that he was on that level, but he hasn't done exactly what we wanted him to do because what it would come behind it, which is the Brazilian fans. You know what I'm saying? But they did it at the cost of robbing a really good fighter. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Shakur Foster kept control the entire fight. he may have lost 1 round out of 12 rounds. He did a great job. He handled himself like a professional. When times got tough in there, he weathered the storm and he kept working behind his jab. He did a great job in there. Great job. I don't know why they did that. That was fucked up.
So, I mean, that was obviously like the more eye-catching, like decision in that
Yeah,
whole card.
yeah,
And it was a lot of people thought leading up to the card, it was the most intriguing fight coming in too.
yeah. I
Um,
did it too.
right? So, um, do you feel like with this one more fight, how does it feel to know that you tied up with one more fight with a shot with Top Rank and you don't got the belt?
But here's the thing: with the loss, if he asked to be released from the one fight, I know they would release him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
of course.
Obviously, if y'all robbed him like that, y'all really ain't had no interest in him anyway.
Right.
And I think the reason it wasn't any interest in him is because Shakur Foster, if you look at it, he fight at a popular weight class, 130, 35, 40, all of that are popular weight classes. If your name isn't already in the mix, you know what I mean? They looking at you like you ain't nothing. You know
Mm.
what I mean?
So, all right, I understood that part. As far as if you're not really him yet, then we're not gonna. You're older. You're old enough. We don't have much time to be, you know, uh, getting some prepping some good fights for some big fights down the line.
And the whole thing is about selling. Once you get to the point you fighting on TV, you got to put asses in seats. So how do you put asses in seats? You got to act outside of yourself, and that's what most of these guys do. They act outside of themselves. They do things to separate themselves from the normal person, so that people could believe they're larger than life when they buy tickets to go see them fight.
In the same time, Oshaki's not one of those guys that like to do a lot of interviews. I know his manager Keith, and I mean, you really got to go through him. He really don't even answer his DM like that. And do you feel like also as a promoter, due to the fact that I mean, he has done time, that's going to reflect of I can't get endorsement deals or anything like that, or do you think that it could be a possible that's like, yeah, I could definitely. Some people like the whole storyline of how someone became this and is now this now. Do you feel like people they didn't want to deal with that as well?
I think they would have had to work too hard to promote Shakur Foster, and they wasn't ready to do that.
Mm,
Top Top Rank. If you really pay attention to how Top Rank recruits their fighters, you have to come in. The only fighter that they actually promoting that ain't do shit is Nico Walsh, right? He didn't do shit in the amateurs. Nobody knows that kid, right? He
nope.
kind of just appeared like a creative player, right?
Yeah.
But everybody else was national champions, Olympians, so on and so forth. So with Top Rank, what they do is they go after all the blue chip guys because they come in with a name. So if you come in with a name, I ain't really got to do too much building. All you got to do is go in there and kick ass. Now, if you come with a little bit of extra shit like Tiafimo, you doing the backflips, you acting like you won a Heisman Trophy, you wearing jerseys and shit. That's the shit. That's extra shit. If you willing to buy into that, they gonna fuck with it. And Tiafimo was knocking motherfuckers out at 135. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
So he was bringing his end of the bargain. But everybody not able to get out here and get on the whole stroll and sell their ass. You feel me?
Yeah.
Some people ain't with that. They not gonna make Abdullah Mason do that. You know why? Very talented kid. And he getting the job done. He knocking motherfuckers out. And that's what people want to see. So they gonna allow Abdullah Mason to be himself.
Well,
Also,
they
he bring the Muslim,
coming in different.
yeah. Also, he bring the Muslim community with him. You feel me?
Yeah. I could see.
So
I could see. Yeah, that's right. He does bring that Muslim community with him,
yeah,
and he's he could sell anywhere. I mean, he's just you could tell he's a very marketable kid.
no, for
You
sure,
could put him on anything. He's well spoken as well.
for
Um,
sure.
so all right, so you watched this on TV or you went live? Were you live or you watched it on TV?
What, the fights?
Yeah.
I watched the fights on TV.
All right. So this is how I interpret it, and I talked to a couple people. When watching it on TV, it looked like it was like, "Hello, Abdullah Mason, here I come. See you later, Shakur Stevenson." Just by looking at the production,
Yeah,
what Timothy Bradley saying, "I got my coffee with me 2 times."
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? The little film of people walking away in the arena. Like, I got that type of vibe watching the card too.
yeah,
I like how they embraced Abdullah. I loved it. That's awesome. That's beautiful. He deserves it. Uh,
yeah,
but I also seen this is my last fight in top rank at the
yeah.
same time too.
And that's what they do. They letting you're not as big of a star as you thought you was. Shakur is a great fighter. Don't get it fucked up. Great fighter, but he not doing the kind of numbers they think he should be doing at this point in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Also, his talk, the way he talk, the fights don't match the way he talk. So it's like you giving us that dog talk. You talking that shit that we want to hear, but then you getting there and you just playing. You winning. But you know what I mean? Ultimately, it looked like you playing around because you could finish the guy, but you're not trying to finish him.
Oh, wait a minute, Greg. So you out here saying that you don't think he was trying to finish him?
No, no, no. I think Shakur has a thing about him where he like to be really sharp. He like to be so on point that he not gonna force himself to do anything. You know what I mean? If I'm winning the fight, then I'm winning the fight, and that's all I got to do. I don't think
So you don't think that at any point in time, like, he was trying to get Artem out of there?
No, no, no. He was kicking. He was trying to kick his ass. But what I'm saying is, he not taking it into the fifth and sixth gear where he really could get this guy out. You see
Taking
how
chances,
you see how Key you see
taking
how
more chances.
Keyshawn yeah you see
I
how
know.
Keyshawn was trying to get that motherfucker out of there. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was trying to counter everything and anything with hard punches.
Yeah.
Uh, you think Shakur Stevenson got a hard time sitting down on his punches at times because he's getting flagged off of uh, now being not a puncher. He was never really considered a puncher, but now they're saying that he got like pillow fist now. They're getting that Devin Haney media work that he's getting now, right?
I think it's just that he a perfectionist. He a perfectionist so bad that he not trying to make no mistakes. He not trying to color outside the lines. He want to keep everything nice and neat. You know what I mean? So what happens with that is you taking your time, and with you taking your time is going by. So next thing you know, we in the 12th round, and the shit is over.
Why you think he couldn't get the job done the way he wanted to get the job done as a coach, looking at it like.
I think Shakur did do it the way he wanted to do it. I don't think he did it the way his coach wanted him to do it, but I think Shakur did it the way he wanted to
Do
do it.
you think that the way he was doing it was the proper way to go about it?
He was on the right path. He was on the right path, but I just needed a little bit more body work out of him. Some more body
Okay.
work and some more sitting down.
Okay. So you advise more body work. You know what I mean? Because you don't like the one shot to the body. You need two. You need three
You got
sometimes.
to kill the body. If you shoot an engine, the whole car gonna shut down.
Yeah. You want to chop the tree down. You want to see him chop it down.
Yeah, you gotta go. I gotta send you.
You don't want him throwing the axe. You want him
Yeah,
swinging
keep
that
keep
axe.
that motherfucker in your hand and keep working.
Got you. Got you. Um. Okay. So, as far as, do you feel like the crowd has anything to do with his body of work this week? Did that play an
I
effect? Do
think
you
I
think?
think anybody fighting at home, there's gonna be extra pressure when you fighting at home, and I think that's why he wanted to be completely neat. Like he wanted to be completely neat. He didn't want to fuck up at all. He wanted he wanted to. What I realized about Shakur, Floyd Mayweather is a big influence on him and the way he think, and
Mm,
he wants to be perfect because in his eyes, Mayweather did it in a perfect way, but Mayweather earned his stripes differently. He was kicking ass first. At 26, 27 years old, Floyd was kicking ass. You gotta
well, he was still getting it. He was still getting that. that stigma as well. Remember, he had to be like 50, 40, 40 and 0 is when like, people are like, all right, well, he got
Yeah,
40
but
wins now. Like,
still he beat the shit out of Diego Corrales
yes, yes,
to the point his corner decided it was enough. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. I mean, I mean, we can't go and compare that
No, no,
body
no,
of
no,
work.
no. I'm not comparing it. What I'm saying is Shakur compares himself to Mayweather because he's an influence on his career and he wants to be perfect. So he think in order to be perfect, I have to make no mistakes. I can't make no mistakes. I got to go in here and score when I can score and defend when I got to defend. I'm not about to do nothing extra.
Okay, okay. So how about this then? How about we dive more into